Hey, welcome everybody to Angel-Meadows. I am your hostess, Mama D, also known as Darlene. My guest tonight, we're going to start with the three that are on camera with me. That's Eric-Glyn, Scott-Stevenson, and Michael Rogers. That is the Rambling Mediums plus one. Y'all figure out which the plus one is. And we have Jody Morrison, who is also known as Jody White Wolf, who will also hopefully be giving readings if she's drawn to anybody or if anybody's drawn to her if they want to ask a question. Okay, let's give a little shout out to people in my chat room. There is Brian Clover, who is behaving himself so far. We have a Carol, not sure which Carol, but hi Carol, welcome. Donna Raven Rooks. Thank you, darling, for being here and for sharing as much as you do. Eric-Glyn, who has no choice but to be here. Fellini. Thank you, Dylan. Jody, again, has no choice. And Michael has no choice. And Carol Penn. Hey, Carol, how you doing? And Scott Stevenson, another one who has no choice. And Sharon, my sister from another mother. So, everybody, thank you and welcome, boys. And, of course, the ever adorable Jody. So, let's start. Jody, since you are very new to this craziness that I call Angel-Meadows, how about we start with you, and I'll mute everybody else, and you tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Sure, I'll be glad to. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. I'm Jody White Wolf Morrison, co-owner of scott-stevenson.com. And I am a medium, a psychic, a healer, the usual array of things. And since all of those abilities come from spirit, when I read, I never really know if it's going to be an oracle card, if it's going to be mediumship, if it's going to be psychic, and it is usually a combination of those. And I'd like to mention this for those who are listening. Eric is fond of saying, yes, the Eric-Glyn who just got muted, is fond of saying that there is no way to do this wrong. There's an infinite number of ways to do it right. His guide, Teddy, about a year and a half ago, gifted me with a name, Spirit Weavers. And he told me back then that I would be developing my own style of reading. And that is precisely what has happened. So when I read for someone, Spirit, my guides, guide me through the most useful way of making the connection. So I cannot tell in advance, will it be mediumship? Will it be healing? Will it be psychic? Will it be an oracle call? I don't know. I only know when it happens and Spirit says, go. So that's a little taste of me.
Now, Jody, unlike the three gentlemen who are here, you are in the States. Where exactly are you in the States?
I'm in northern New Mexico, which is the southwest part of the U.S., about an hour northwest of Santa Fe, if that helps anybody.
So at the moment you have no the three UK boys are all shaking their heads going, oh? Okay, Michael made a face too. So you have no snow at the moment.
We had about 2 inches yesterday, but that's it.
It's just the dusting.
I think the UK got more snow than I did.
I think so. And 2 out of 3 are nodding heads, and Scott's saying no. Scott's saying no. Scott, you had no snow? I muted him still. Can we unmute him? Okay. Okay, for anybody who's in the chat room, Brian just lost his sound. Anybody who's in the chat room, as this goes on, if you want a reading or you have a question, type it in capital letters in the chat room. So this old blind woman who is not wearing her glasses because I don't want to be wearing my glasses and they interfere with reflection, yada, yada, yada. So I can see it and I can read it. No, I'm not vain. I just you see the reflection. You can't say I didn't get that dull tint thing with Jiggy going on. Okay, Carol in the chat room will have a general reading, but hang on. Let's just get... I have my own. I'm just not putting them on. Okay, so now, Michael, next up on the list, for those of my people in the chat room who do not know you, you want to share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, why not? Be happy to. I'm a professional medium, clairvoyant, psychic, do all sorts basically. Came into it at a really young age through my grandmother. She was a medium. Basically, I was taken to a spiritualist church from the maternity hospital. I went to a spooky church before I was taken home. That's basically it. Worked as a medium professionally for about 15 years now. Do a lot of work in spiritualist churches, a lot of platform work. I do private sittings, vice president of a spiritualist church. Work with many different forms of mediumship, clairvoyance right the way through to physical mediumship. I've done that for a lot of years. I teach general mediumship as well. I teach 1, 2, 3 classes now. I'm from the northeast of England, from a little town called Blythe, just down the road from Asherton. I live in the nicer part where Eric lives. I live in the nicer part of the northeast of England. It's relatively posh where I am. See Eric twisting his face there.
Making faces.
Yeah, I think he's been to Blythe, he knows. So yeah, that's me in a nutshell, basically.
Now, since the last time you were on the show, I also noticed that you've been doing other radio shows. You seem to be having a good time with this.
I did one. I wound up in on an Asian network I was on. Of all things within the I met must have been to wind up in Blythe, Scott. I wound up meeting a doctor, of all things, a retired doctor. He came to a talk I was doing, who was into all sorts of kind of complementary medicines and stuff like that. Yeah, so I wound up on his radio show discussing my work and healing and mediumship, and become firm friends. It was very good.
Cool. And then we're going to go to, if he stops coughing his head off, we're going to go to Scott. I guess I have to unmute him to actually let people hear him. Sorry. Scott, it's a rarity, but for those people who don't know you, you want to give a little bit about yourself?
I'm Scott. Started as a healer, developing with wife about 20 odd years ago. I got some mediumship stuff with the healing, but it wasn't really my thing. That's only happened and been developing even stronger in the last 2 or 3 years or so. The mediumship I do is like everything else, different to everyone else. I don't hear or see anything, but I know what's there, like going into a bedroom at night time, totally pitch black, and you know where the bed is, you know where the wardrobe is, I just know what's there. And because I know what's there, I think my brain does something and I can see the picture, but I'm not actually seeing spirit, I'm seeing what I sense. If I get any messages from them, then I'm not hearing it, but I know what they're saying, if that makes any sense. And it's only really the last year and a half, 2 years, I really started believing I can actually do it, so that's about it really. I live in Somerset, England, down the southwest. We've had...
Yes, but that lovely accent does not come from England.
No, it's from Scotland, it's from God's country. Up in the north, up in the southwest of Scotland I come from. But living down here doing missionary work.
Anybody who ever makes the mistake of saying that he speaks English, he doesn't. He speaks Scottish. I got trouble for that.
No. It's okay to speak English. We speak English.
Okay.
But I don't come from England. I live in England, but I don't come from England. The whole island isn't called England. The whole island is called Scotland, Wales, and England. island, another wee island off the side. There's been a few floods, Brian.
And now I'm going to save the best for last. Here's Eric. And I save the best for last only because sometimes it's more than just Eric who comes out. And, certain people can take a lot of time. Eric, sit forward, darling. For those of the guests in the chat room, we have a guest, who don't know who you are, you want to share a little bit about who you are?
Not a problem. I'd just like to thank everybody for coming into the chat room for the for the Eddie and Teddy show, and see what we can sort out. We generally come around on these radio shows and try and enliven people, like Scott, who thinks that Scotland is God's little country. I'm sorry, Scotland only got the overspray that Scotland in fact is a bleed over from God. That's what it is. But still, this is just because I just want to make sure everybody's straight. As people may tell, I tend to work with a humorous vibration and a cat in my ear. And this stupid little cat of mine is going mental. But I work with a guy called Teddy. Teddy is an idiot, and but he's my idiot, and we tend to work quite well. I have been doing this for a few nights now. Just past 53 years that I've been working with Spirit. One night I'll get it right. The other thing is that there's a lot of people who have seen me work, both here on Intuitalks, on all the rest of the radio stations which I haunt on a regular basis. But the thing is, though, that what you will understand is that, as with Michael, as with Scott, what we do with quite seriousness. It's just that we don't put it over that way. As Jodie said at the start, there's no wrong way of connecting with Spirit. There's just different ways of getting it right. Now, the thing is that I need to stress very, very firmly from the start that when you go to the spiritualist churches or to readings or to things, people say that you can answer with yes, a no, or I don't know. Well, in my case, just give us a lot, because I'm rubbish. And I just need something to help us out, you know what I mean? So just give us a lot. No trouble at all. Usually what I say at some point, Michael will then pinch and then go and say it's easy and put it out in the open Facebook, like Planted or Fried and things like that. So this is me. I'm just rambling here because most of you in the chat room know me. So it's only for the people that... Yeah, it's only for the the paupers that have decided to come on and get the catch up.
The people who have dragged in here, kicking and screaming. Oh no!
Jodie Morrison's never heard of me before. Yep, there you go. That's Jodie not going to heaven, but still. Okay. Right, so that's me.
Okay. Well, aside from everybody getting readings, there's a quick note. Jon Sabin will not be able to make it this evening. Where he is, they lost a young light worker. So send out strength and love to them. And he will be here the next time. We're going to do this hopefully more often, and maybe like every 2 months I'll get y'all together and we'll do this again. Okay, so we had in the chat room, we had Carol with the lowercase c, not the Carol Patton, and I'm not sure if they're the same or not, just listening in different ways. So Carol would like a general reading, and Jodie, you can pop in just to say something, and I'll see your microphone light up. If anybody wants to go give a reading to Carol, or Carol, do you have anybody particular that you'd like to talk to? I have the 3 adorable gentlemen, and Jodie, the gorgeous girl. He says, no, any of you can pop up. Does anybody get any feelings, any drawings? Well, we can all talk at once. I know it's hard. We're just starting, so it's cool. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll pop in, Darlene.
Okay.
Carol, the first thing that I get, and I'm getting this feels like guide energy and it's not mine, so it must be yours. And the very strong sense that I'm getting is kind of the humorous "it's about time." There's a lot of pleasure and delight that you are leaping back into what you really know. And okay, two things. First is that I told you I never know where I'm going to go, but I was suggested that I pull a card, and the card that has to do with things that block you, things that get in your way. And the suggestion for you from what I call upstairs is that trust in you, trust your intuition, trust your guidance, and trust spirit. Trust what you get from spirit without thinking twice about it. That apparently, according to what I'm being told, your biggest block is that you aren't as confident as you would like to be. Does that make sense to you here?
There's a couple of seconds delay, not much. So, Carol, hopefully you heard Jody?
That's the first thing. I have something else.
Okay. I'm not sure. Carol, are you still there? Oh. She didn't hear you, Carol. Jody. Do you not hear Jody at all? Oh, okay. Duh, would be an idea if I read properly. Okay.
The reason I asked you that is because before I go on, it's useful for me to know that I've got the right link and that what I'm getting connects with you. They're telling me it does, but okay, great. Perfect. Okay, the second thing is they're telling me that some of what you're doing or you're beginning to redo how to phrase this. What you've done in the past will not only resurface, it will also come in new forms. So in terms of where you're headed, their strong recommendation for you is that, again, you follow your intuition, you follow your guidance. What you know can manifest in a variety of ways. And so they're suggesting you stay open to new methods, new manifestations of you doing what you do. For example, if you've always heard spirit, you may now find that you're seeing or sensing. Don't doubt that. Trust it. Trust what you get and trust where you're getting it from. Then you can't go wrong, because spirit is never wrong. For the moment, they're now shutting up. I hope that's a little bit helpful.
She said, yeah, okay, sorry. Okay, is anybody else drawn to Carol at the moment? No? Okay. You have a question in the chat from Donna Ricks. I want to know two things. First, is there a message for me from the other side? And second, am I starting some old new things this year or just walking back on my path after 7.5 years? I was wondering what may be in store for me in 2018. It's a biggie.
I have to jump in here because the information I just gave was actually, embarrassingly enough, it helps to read properly, is actually for Donna.
Oh!
And yeah, so Carol, if you were able to take that, that's wonderful, but I'm blushing. It was actually for Donna. I just didn't read right, and I had the right link, but the wrong person.
Okay.
A heck of a way to start, huh?
Well, nothing ever works ever so smoothly here. We kind of sort of got started on time, so we're okay. Okay, gentlemen, does anybody have anything else for Donna? We are having a slow evening to start, aren't we?
Right, I'm going to jump in. Now, wait till I get myself up. Do you realise it's like a 200-pound deadlift every time I sit forward? I never heard what Jodie said to Donna, or I didn't hear much of it, because basically I was away feeding the cat, who is now annoying me, because he wants to go to bed. So I'll jump in and do a little bit for Donna, if that's okay. Donna, can you hear me all right? Right, I want you to pin back your ears, clean the wax out. You can do that by sticking your tongue in your ear or anything you want to do, but basically that's just what I need you to clean the wax out, alright? Right. First thing I've got a link with a lady in the higher side of life. Now this lady probably is either mother, grandmother, but she's a very, very nice lady until she got crossed. And if you upset her, then you better run. Can you place me with this lady? And it's not Michael's grandma. Yeah, okay. Enough. Now, right. This lady's coming forward, and she's saying that at the moment your head's just going round and round in circles. I believe you've given yourself a time scale of, like, I need to have it done by the new year. Or I need to have it done by your birthday. Or I need to have it done by your date. Alright? Now, she's saying that that's a good idea in one sense, because you're the kind of person who needs to have motivation for the work. But she says it's bad that you've given yourself a time frame. And I just need to get it all sorted out in your head. She's talking about well, you said, am I going back on my path? No, as Jodie said, and I think she said anyway before I disappeared, it's things that you've learned that will be brought out in a different way. That you, what do you want? Sorry, Teddy's just popped in for a reason and I don't know why. What? Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Right, Donna, there's somebody close to you in your life that you really want to give, I was going to say good talking to, but this lady says you really want to slap them. Alright? I've never ever believed in violence in any way, shape or form, but a punch in the mouth gets their attention. It's to do with, there's a situation around and about you where you know what's going on, and two people are acting like children. And I just want to say you want to give them each a good give slap on the side of the head and tell them to grow up. And this lady's saying once that gets sorted out, then all the other snowball effect that's surrounding it would come along. Now, I don't know if there's been a change in, if you're looking for a change in employment, or there has just been a change of employment, but I feel as if that needs to be looked at and decided it is the right thing. So seeing that Donna hasn't answered for the last 3 minutes, I'm still trying to figure out if she's still there. Yeah, there you are. I knew you were, Donna. I was just teasing. the thing is that I just want to say though that this lady's talking about, oh, all right, okay, who's got the medical problems around you? I feel as if there's hospital and doctor's appointments coming up. I feel as if there's CAT scans and MRI scans. I feel as if there's somebody who needs a lot of healing being sent through you to this person. Do you know where that is? Right, okay. Well, I just know it's somebody around you. So basically I'm just sending a whole load of stuff like that. I will send you a bunch of yellow flowers, because basically I haven't a clue on flowers, what they are. Everybody keeps telling me I should get a book and look them up, but basically it's Spirit's joke. They send me flowers, and they're yellow or red or pink, and then I've got to try and describe them so people can guess what they are. Roses I know, because I've been married 40 years and I know all about grovelling with roses, so that's all right. Why do I want to give you that? I want to give you, somebody is annoying you, not the situation we were talking about, but somebody is infuriating you, because I feel as if they keep telling you that, they're telling you that they're trying. If you say, oh, well, you need to do this. Oh, yes, I'm trying. But you know they're not, because they're not actually, fixing the problem. And finally, somebody, they're showing me a Christmas cake. Okay? They're showing me a Christmas cake, but without any marzipan or icing on, just the cake. And that must be somebody in spirit, and it must be a link to somebody in spirit that they didn't like the marzipan and icing and everything else on the cake, just the Christmas cake itself, the fruit cake. Yeah, that's the one, the fruit cake. And just I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to let anybody else jump in. Who's just hurt their arm? Somebody just hurt their arm, because I've just been laid that on as well just before I go. So somebody in there just hurt their arm. But most of all, what I'm getting coming from spirit for you is strength, healing to be passed on, and really a sense of purpose, because I feel as if you lost your sense of purpose to deal with your job, and what I'm getting is a sense of purpose that's coming through. So that's it. Sorry it's short. Hand it back to Darlene.
Thank you, Eric. Okay, I know Michael had something for Carol. Scott, did you have anything for Donna? It would be an idea if I unmuted him. Oh, it's so fun, the power I have. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, Carol, can you take the brown...
Hold on. Are you talking to Carol, or are you talking to Donna?
Carol, I think.
Don't make that face.
I'm not sure. Don't know if it's Donna or Carol, because it's really quite blurred between the two of them. Whichever one it is, it's the two Jack Russell type dogs, one black, one brown and white, black and white. And whichever one knows where those two dogs are in spirit. That's Donna then. Alright. The two dogs, there's somebody associated with them. A man, I think. He was spent a lot of time. It's like an old-fashioned kitchen with a range or an open fire. A chair with a stool, a blanket over his knees. So I presume towards the end of his life he spent a lot of time on that chair. There's something going on with his chest and swallowing. So I think that's him. With you right now, there's headaches above your left eye, just over here, and also a sort of shooting pain from the front up the back. I'm pretty sure that's stress. Probably too much coffee, probably too many late nights, probably too many sitting around, going over all sorts of stuff that maybe shoulda, coulda, woulda, and you know that it doesn't help. That's my dog shouting. The guy with the sort of tartany light brown blanket on his knee, he's about you a lot. I don't know whether he smoked a pipe or whether there's a pipe sort of smell around him, but you've smelt it in his house in your house quite a bit. His house? In your house quite a bit. It could be there's something to do with smoking. I don't think it's as harsh as a cigar, unless that's one of these really posh ones that doesn't smell like a nasty cigar. Right, no, I think it's a pipe. Yeah, I think it's a pipe. I don't think it's I think it's a Christmassy sort of thing. It's an aromatic sort of smell. But you've smelt it in your house. You've smelt it somewhere, you've walked into a room, and it's just been there for an instant. God, I knew I was getting cross between them both. The man's about 6 foot tall, very slim, lost a lot of weight towards the end of his life, was full head of hair, I think, grey, very white grey. Could be. Oh God, getting both mixed up. Do you two know each other? Because the energy between both of your two names is just, it's doing all this, unless, I know that, what do you call it, Jodie did the same, unless it's just something that's going on with you at the moment, both of you have got the same choices to make in life, so whatever Donna got from Eric, and Carol got from Jodie, you can both take them both, it's interchangeable, your lives are the same. Next year, right now there's two big decisions to make, or two big things you have to make a choice over. The first one that you're jumping on and thinking this is the one, that's definitely one. No, it's not, it's the second one. Think more about the second one, the second choice, it's not the first one. If it's a job you've been accepted for, it's not that one you're going to have the best results from, it's the next one. There's two things, two jobs, two moves, two decisions. The second one's the best one. The guy that's there, he's there just because when you sat in his presence or you were with him, you felt calm, you felt relaxed, you felt as if you're sitting in front of a coal fire on a frosty, snowy night, and the dogs are buzzing around and there's that smell of tobacco or whatever. That's why he's there. The tears have to stop. I know it's a hard thing to say, but it's time to move on now. You've done the tears thing, the time. You know that he's with you. You know that he's around you. He wants to hear you laugh. He wants to see you dancing to silly music. He wants to see you getting daffodils up on the mantelpiece again or the windowsill. He wants to see you just smiling. And if you can't do the smiling, then paint on a happy smiley face, put on some lippy and pretend. And the more you pretend and keep on pretending, the more it will become real. The more you'll actually start to feel better. The more you'll start to move on. But the things that you're thinking about at 3 o'clock in the morning or stupid o'clock in the morning, you're past them. It's just a kick up the bottom, I think. But if you're finding it hard to sleep, if you're finding it hard to cope, God, and you're finding it hard to swallow, find your happy place, sit down and think of him, hold your hand out, and you'll actually feel him putting his hand in yours, or his arm around your shoulder. You felt that, and you've just put it down as saying, that's rubbish, it's just me imagining things. It's not, it's there. You have the ability to notice. Just start trusting yourself and start trusting that he's with you. And he's putting a necklace around here. If you're not wearing it already, get it back on. It's something like a St. Christopher, or it's a circly thing with a figure in the centre, I think. Get it back on as well. I think that's me. I'm not sure which one it was, but I think it's to do with both of them.
Okay, well, 2 for 1. There you go. Well, Eric had to leave us. He wasn't feeling well, so. No? Okay. So you were lucky. Donna, you got lucky and you got the only reading for Mary tonight. He wasn't doing too well. Now, Michael has something for Carol, I think.
Yep, Carol, are you there? Let me know you're there. Excellent. Right, I've been sat for quite a while now, being annoyed by this lovely gentleman. Now, as this gentleman comes through, the first thing I have to say is that he's extremely vocal, very loud, very, very chatty, this gentleman, but he did make me very, very aware of a condition within this gentleman's head. Now, I'm not necessarily saying this is what caused this gentleman to take his passing at the higher side of life, but I just know that as this gentleman links in, my consciousness is all very much muddled and becoming very, very confused, don't know, it's as though my thought process just wasn't quite right towards the end of my time on the earth plane with this gentleman. And he's making me very, very aware of kind of, how can I put it, frustration that caused on his part. Okay, does this make sense with this gentleman? Can you place him? I do feel as though I need to be on, I don't know whether this is like a grandfatherly sort of link. He is coming forward, say the fatherly sort of link here. He is coming forward with that very much paternal care in nature here. And how can I put it? A very, very straight-laced gentleman, very much, I don't feel as though this was a gentleman, that makes perfect sense, thank you, my lovely. Don't feel as though this gentleman would have been, the type of chap that would have had any sort of grey areas. Black was definitely black and white was most certainly white with this gentleman. Very much the kind of soul, that said what he thought. Now, he's laughing about this. Would you understand how this gentleman, he's laughing about this? Kind of, very much, funny sense of humour, this gentleman. He says, I meant well, my heart's in the right place. It's just unfortunately, we had all the tact and diplomacy of a brick. It was kind of, now going on there. Now, he's saying at the minute, would you understand where there's very much a situation around yourself where, how can I put it, you feel as though you're having to bite your tongue a lot? And for whatever reason, we're unable to kind of, open up and say what needs to be said or what we feel as though we need to be saying. Now, I've got to be perfectly honest. I try to work as honestly as I can. Now, what he's kind of wanting to place a foot in a certain part of your anatomy, right? Now, I'll let you join the dots with regards to that. But, he says, because going back 6 months ago, we wouldn't have been in the position where we were biting our tongue regarding this situation, and we'd have said what needed to be said. He says, for whatever reason, we're kind of smiling sweetly and trying to kind of be all nice and all the rest of it. Now, it's almost as though he's coming forward and kind of giving you a clip round the back of the head. Does this make sense? And saying, for God's sake, lass, will you say your piece? Yeah? Now, have to see, this is in a negative way that I'm bringing this forward in any way, shape or form. This is a lovely soul I'm bringing forward here. But I do feel as though he's very much urging you to just see it. Okay? Now, he has been shouting at me. Who is it around you that's either talking about not putting up a Christmas tree this year or not celebrating Christmas properly? Because he's going, well, this makes sense. It's on about the fact, right, got you. Now, because again, he's coming forward with this. Now, would it make sense, wherever this gentleman was concerned, when he was on, I'm coming, wherever he was on, everything, he'd kind of put a humorous kind of twist on everything. Right, because as he's been shouting at me on one hand about the fact that this Christmas tree isn't getting put up, on the other hand he's saying, I'll come back, I'll haunt her, I'll haunt her if this tree's not put up. Which I know isn't the nicest thing to bring forward, but I just feel as though, again, he's kind of instilling that humorous side that he had to things. And the fact that she needs to be celebrating it in her own way. Okay, but he is very keen for this Christmas tree to be put up and for Christmas to be celebrated as it should as well. Now, I am also being made very, very aware of another lady that's coming forward here. She is making me very, very aware. And again, I need to be on mother's side of the family here. I do feel as though I'm possibly going to kind of grandmother on mother's side of the family with this lovely lady. Please excuse me, Rachel. Now, she is making me very, very aware with the condition within the stomach or bowel area. I do feel as though I am in the lower half of the body with this lady. Does this make sense? Yep. Okay, but just, as she's coming forward, I am feeling very, very sick, very, very nauseous at the moment. Now, very much like what Scott was saying to Donna before, would you understand where at the moment you're kind of on the fence regarding something and we're not sure what to do? It's kind of like, do I go this way, do I go that way, and right? Now, I'd love to kind of see if she's coming forward and giving you a definitive answer with this and kind of, right, she needs to go this way, this way, and this way. She's not. I don't feel as though she would have been that sort of lady on the earth plane. She's kind of seen slow things down, think things through, because you'd understand where you have a habit of going into things a bit like a bull in a china shop. Right? Very, very quick, very, very little thought process. She says to slow things down. Would you understand someone very, very close to you as well, if not yourself, that's looking at purchasing a property or a move of house, a move of home? Yeah, because she's talking about that as well, and she says, can we just put the brakes on that a little bit as well and make sure that everything's kind of set in place as it should be as well with regards to that as well. Now, she is also referring to me, just as she's drawn back on the link here as well, got to be a set, like a pearl necklace or something that's still within the family vibration somewhere. Not necessarily saying it belonged to this lady directly, but she is on about the pearls. And there is also a gentleman that she's referring to. Now, I do feel as though this gentleman is still on the earth plane. Now, I'm not a doctor. I can't prescribe anything, but the way I'm feeling, I don't know whether he's diagnosed with a diabetic condition or he's suffering from kind of a diabetic symptoms or something to do with blood sugar or glucose levels. Would this make sense? Yeah? Because she's on about the fact that that needs to be kind of looked at and monitored more stringently, I'd go for. I don't know if there's medical kind of attention needed there or what, but she's referring to that as well. So, I have the name of William being called forward. I've got no idea who he is, but he wants to say hello. Or hello, if you're not a Geordie. Yeah. And there has to be a pregnancy within the family as well at the moment as well. I've got this lovely lady talking about new life coming within the family as well. There's a baby on the way, me lovely. This makes sense. Alright, okay. I'll leave you with that and a tremendous amount of love, and thank you very much. No, I'm not. Right. Sorry, just as I was withdrawing the link there, the gentleman that I was talking to before, communicating with before the Alzheimer's condition, he's just showed me a watch, and on this watch face, he's drawn my attention to the time of 11:20 p.m. Don't know if that has some significance, but he's making me very, very aware of 11:20 p.m. Yep, okay, my lovely, I'll leave that with you and say thank you very much.
Okay. Spirit won't let you go. Well, this is great. Donna and Carol, I hope you guys got everything. I don't know why that you two are so closely meshed. Even the readings were so close, it was hard to tell. I do believe Jody said she had something to add. Jody?
Can you hear me?
Yes, but you're going to have to scream at Eric. Do that. Just pretend you're screaming at Eric.
Easy done. Okay. I'm not sure if this is for Carol or Donna.
Okay, ladies, can you hear? Okay, they can both hear you. Good.
Okay, I've been given the number. This has been with me for about 5 minutes now. The numbers 2 and 4 are significant. That would be February or April or the 2nd. Okay, good, Carol. I'm probably with you then. families, it's some kind of a celebration. But there's some mixed feelings with that. And this goes back to the image of the fruitcake with no icing. This is a cake with no icing. And they're saying for you to ice the cake. In other words, enjoy the celebration. Enjoy the reason for that number. And don't get caught up in whatever negativity is floating around about it or about the person involved with it. Is this making sense to you, dear? Okay, great. Now, there's also a gentleman in spirit, feels like a grandfather, who says that he tries to get your attention and you sometimes don't realize that he's there. And he's telling me that what he does is he either touches your arm, your upper left arm, or the top and slightly to the back of your head, and that often that feels to you like, a fly landed on you, and you sort of brush it away. Don't brush it away. That's him. Take a moment to welcome him and to say hi, and trust that the first thought that comes to you will be him communicating with you. He loves being around you, and he hungers for more contact, one-to-one contact. Does that make sense to you, Carol? Yes, like a tingle. Yeah. Okay, that's what he feels. He either felt like a very much older father figure or a grandfather. So thank you for that. That works. And he says, just acknowledge him. He will hear you. And the more you can acknowledge him, the more you can begin to create a dialogue between the two of you. But the most important thing to him is for you to know how much he loves you. I know that sounds trite. There's something now about a tie. Did he have some kind of a tie that everybody laughed at? It was loud or weirdly colored in some way? Was that a yes to the tie?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. He says that he will show you that visual of the tie if you want confirmation that indeed it is him touching you and not a fly landing on you. Just open your mind. He'll create for you that image of the tie, and you'll know who's there. Please step back now. So there you go. I hope that was helpful.
Oh, okay. While we're there, while Jody was reading for you, I always have my cards, so you guys know how I am. This one popped up. Okay, I think it says Heavenly Signs, and I was thinking of Carol and the reading that you were getting, and that popped up just before Jody said that you get the signs, you get the little shivers, and yes, shivers is what would be the greatest thing, because that's what I get. So accept it. We're always waiting for this big ta-da, but it's the little things. It's the little, the flickering of the light, that gets you. But you sit there and you forget. We're waiting for that big ta-da, and we forget to notice the little ta-das. So that was information. He was like, okay, there you go. Okay, welcome back. Michael took a little break. He ran away. He started seeing me. He could still see me. I just couldn't see him. I know I saw somebody who said, Jules, who was a girl. She said she would like, she made made sure, because she said many people mistake her for a boy. She would like a reading as well. So if you guys, anybody's drawn towards Jules, and if anybody in the chat room, those who didn't get the information in the beginning, have a question, and it doesn't have to be a mediumship reading question, just a question out of curiosity, then type it in capitals. Doom, doom, doom. Gentlemen, anything for Jules? Okay. Focus on Jules. See what you get. Okay. Julia. That's all. Julia, darling. I like that name. And thank you for following me. It's nice to have people come over. I'm trying to make it so that everybody gets to come in. I think Jody has something. Aside from typing abilities like me, she has something.
Jules, can you hear me? I have to keep yelling into my microphone, so I want to check. Great.
She says yes.
Wonderful. Okay, two things. First, I drew a card for you. Well, I didn't draw a card. A card jumped out for you. And the card is called The Wise Woman of Wonderland. And it speaks to, okay, first of all, I'm getting loud and clear that you know a lot more than you sometimes give yourself credit for knowing. This seems to be a theme that I'm hearing tonight. And the request to you is quit doubting what you know. I'm told that you ask for confirmation a lot. You don't need to. You already know what you know, and all you need to do is trust that. Make sense to you so far? Excellent. Now, something that is very, very important to you is your integrity. And part of the reason that you currently ask for confirmation or doubt yourself is you never, this is really important to you, you never want to give people wrong information. You never want to steer them in the wrong direction. And that includes yourself. So you're constantly wanting validation for what you already know is true. I'm going to say it again. They're saying loud and clear, you've got to trust yourself. And I teach development a lot. And one of the keys there is developing your relationship with your guiders, your inspirers, your guides, your friends and family and spirit. And you can always back to spirit, go back to your guide and say, this is what I think I'm getting. Am I on the right track? Don't have to ask that as often as you think you do, because you really know far more than you're giving yourself credit for knowing. Okay? Yes, trusting is very big for you. You can teach yourself through your experience. In other words, go back to spirit and say, I think I'm getting this. Am I? When you've done that several times, you can begin to build that trust. Part of that also is enhancing your friendship with your guide and inspirers. I'm also getting the word angel. So apparently you have a connection, or you feel connected to the angelic realm. Would that be correct? Well, I know about overthinking. Yeah. Well, that's why I'm hearing this. A.A. Michael is my main guide. And Michael is telling me, hang on, let me get it as close to word for word as I can. Okay, Michael is saying, talk to him. He's saying, just talk. He is always presence unless you turn him off. It says just talk to him, and the key piece here is Michael knows about overthinker. He had his hand full teaching me the same kinds of issues through the years. He said simply talk to him and use what is often called the first thought process. That is, the first thing that comes to you is from Michael. After that, you made it up. It's from you. Okay? Michael says you can rely on him to give you straight feedback. So when you go and you say, okay, I'm getting this intuitively, he's going to tell you straight up yes or no. Right? So build that connection with Michael. He's saying something else. Yeah, he's just re-emphasizing. Talk to him and build that relationship. Okay. I'm also, and Michael is telling me this to relate to you, saying sometimes you compromise on your communication with people because your integrity demands that you don't steer them wrong. And Michael is suggesting if you're not clear, say so. Then you can go back, clarify with Michael, back to the person, and give them clear information. Don't compromise in that way. Okay? I hope that was helpful.
Yes, Denise. I'm gonna have. Do you want to turn your mic on, sweetheart? Okay. We also have Demisi in the chat room. Demisi, if you want to turn on your mic. I hate to myself. Go back to the top left corner. You'll see a little set of headphones. You'd have to share your microphone. Or you can just type it into the chat room. Nice to see you back, Brian. Okay, we're gonna go with. I'm sitting here reading and skipping with them. Okay, do you want to just type it in, honey? Okay, you're gonna answer that, or we can pause. Okay, she's gonna type it in. Go ahead. So Demisi has a lady who is an Oriental lady. Julia, this is for you, dear. I'm gonna say it, repeat everything she says, so that it's not dead air because it is radio. Okay, and Julia's sister. This is gonna be fun. Talking to myself. Okay, Dimitri, she doesn't know about an Oriental lady. I know you can read it, but I've just got to say it. Oh, wait a minute. She's going to try and do her mic. So, okay. Okay, I know that if anybody is drawn into to anybody during the show and they want to do give a reading, I know. Dimitri, yay! Okay, sweetie, we still can't hear you. You shut your camera, but we haven't, honey, can't hear you. You have to share your mic as well. Good, Dimitri. Can you hear me, sweetheart? I can't. Demisi? Hold on a second. I'm going to pause the show. Hang on, everybody. I'm just going to pause the recording. And pause. Demisi, if you go to the top left, there's a little a picture of a little microphone. Not microphone, headset. You go there and it says share your mic. Click on it. Because this would be so much better if I could hear you. Demisi, can you hear me? Oops, somebody. Hey, Jody, she got the camera on. Okay, so we're going to go back to this. Okay, let me see where we go. I just lost you. We just lost somebody here. We lost Carol. Okay. Let me see. Who has the tall hat on her head, like a fox hunter, or a fox fur around her shoulders? This is still for Jules. Okay, she will type it up for you, Jules, as we go along. Anybody? Okay. Anybody, are you able to give messages to those who have crossed over? Probably a stupid question. Are you, anybody in amongst our guests, are you able to give messages from the living to the deceased? I'm guessing, is that what you want, Donna? Yes. Okay. Anybody can pipe in on that one? Michael?
The way that works, Donna, is, I mean, with regards to, us as living entities passing on messages to spirit, it doesn't take a medium to do that. Spirit, i.e. your loved ones, people you have lost, will be able to pick up on your vibration. They hear you, they walk with you. It's literally a case of, send out your thoughts, bring them close, just talk. They're here. People have this misconception that, to link with loved ones in spirit, you have to be special or chosen or gifted or a medium, and it's bull, to put it bluntly. You don't. Our loved ones, just because they've made the passing, to the higher side of life or crossed over or whatever terminology it is you want to use, is irrelevant. They become more part of our lives in passing away on the earth plane. They become more nosy, they become more linked. I kind of get rid of my lot. So it's literally a case, what my advice to you, Donna, if that is the case, is just sit, give yourself 5 minutes quiet time. Bring those special people into your thoughts and just talk, pass on your messages, whatever it may be, and they'll hear you.
How's that, Donna? Okay, yes. Okay. All right. So, anybody else have? Yes, dear.
For Donna, 2 things.
Yes.
First is, when you think about connecting to spirit, whether they're contacting you or you're connecting with them, one way to think about it that may be useful, think about standing or sitting in your living room, your lounge room. Imagine that there's a friend of yours or a family member who's in a different room. Now, you can't see them, but you can hear them. And if there's a lot of noise around you or a lot of confusion around you, it makes it harder to make that connection. Another way to think about it is as a two-way radio. sometimes when you turn on the radio, you have to really fiddle with that knob to get it tuned in. Once you do, boom, it's loud and clear. So it's a conversation, not you sitting back and waiting. It's a dialogue, okay? Are you saying no, no, not, or yes, yes, or I'm not sure. But
And that was
yes.
night, because Dimitri's going to bed.
The second thing, wait, what was the second thing? Must give me that. I hate it when they do that. They give me a thought, and then they take it away if I don't pay attention instantly.
Scott distracted you. It's okay. Well, I'll have his wife smack him with the fly swatter.
Oh, yes, got it. Thank you. They gave it back. Tony Stockwell, who is, you've probably heard of him, he's a marvelous British medium, and he taught me this activity. If you sit quietly and you simply breathe into a count of, say, 4 or 5, don't hold your breath. Let it immediately out to the same count, 4, 5, whatever is comfortable for you. And you do that, breathe in, breathe out, 5, 6 times, and then simply, either out loud or in your head, invite spirit to step closer. That's a little activity that really, really helps in mellowing us out and letting spirit know you're available, ready to communicate. So that's another, just have the conversation. Okay. Perfect. Then you're already gifted in doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Well done. Do it for this too. And let your words be whatever is right for that moment. I'm open to hearing from whoever wants to come through. I'd love to hear from my guide. Whatever it is that you would like, don't ask. They don't know. Okay? Hope that helps.
Yes, talking, I'm going to put in my 2 cents, because I'm good at that. It's just a conversation. And if it's meant for them to hear, they're going to hear it because they're pretty much around you anyway. You know, it's like, for me, I know that it's like, oh, I want to talk to my mom, but she's not here. The thing is, as soon as I remember or that I want to talk to her, that means she's there for me. That means it's like, she's like, hello, Darlene, you know? So that's that thing. So, whoops, Michael shrunk. So it's just, there you go. So it's just a matter of the moment that you think of them, the moment that they pop into your head, that's that moment that they're with you. You know, as so many times we want to make it a little more complicated than that, but it's sometimes just as simple as that. You know. So, and yeah, you're a Reiki teacher, so
another way of doing it. Another way of doing it, Donna. If it's something that's really, really, really needing saying, sit down with a bit of paper and a pen, write it out. Once you've written everything that you need to say to that person, and really go into every little thing you can think of, say it all, write it down on this bit of paper. Go somewhere nice, beautiful view, top of a hill, and set fire to the bit of paper, and then just throw the ashes to the 4 winds. That way, whatever it is that you feel this need to say, it's said, it's gone to them, and it will go, and you'll feel better. Pleasure.
I think another important thing to recognise as well, Donna, is recognising the signs that spirit and your loved ones are around you in any case. I do have a brilliant accent, Jules, I know.
Better.
You know, I know through my kind of teaching, a lot of my students come to me and say, I can't hear spirit, I can't see spirit, I can't this, I can't that. And that was my issue when I first came to it. You know, my nana was my teacher. And I can remember at quite a young age, I went to her and said, I can't do this, I can't see spirit. And I'll never forget the words she said to me. She turned around and she said, son, if a 10-foot tall Native American Indian was to walk through that wall now, he'd be taking you up to the spirit world with him. She looked, she went, there's not a doctor in the world would put you right. He'd scare the living bejeebers out of you. We'll go with. It's not what she said, but, you know, it would be nice. And she made me recognise that there's so many ways in which spirits show us that they're around. Be that smells, be that, you know, someone was talking about, you know, feeling as though flies land on you. My kind of thing, I get that sensation where, you know, cobwebs on my face, you know, it's as though I've walked through like cobwebs, tingling sensation on my face. You know, and a lot of my students, I was having a conversation with one of my students the other day about these signs, you know, that spirits show and all the rest of it, and she was saying, do you know something? She says, for a couple of months now, and this particular student lost her father last year, just for the last few months, you know, when things have been getting on top of us, when things have been weighing on my mind, when things have been getting just a little bit too much, she says, I'll get in the car, or I'll be out shopping, or I'll be out and about. She says, and a certain song will come on the radio, and it'll be a song he loved. You know, and I'll know he's there. Just little signs like this, and it's about recognising those signs. And in those moments where we think, oh, hang on a minute, there's dad, there's mum, there's auntie, there's uncle, there's brother, there's sister, there's whoever. It's about recognising that and just seeing that quick hello. And by establishing that recognition and saying, oh, hang on a minute, there's someone there, that only helps to strengthen the connection. Is this making sense, Donna? Show us in so many different ways that they're around, and it's just about recognising it. And by recognising it and acknowledging that, spirit will only get stronger. They'll think, oh, that worked, I've done that. Right, I flicked her on the lug, she's felt that, she said hello. Lug ear, by the way, sorry. And spirit will continue, they'll continue, yeah, they will. They'll continue to establish that and strengthen that link.
Fellini in the chat, I'm going to read what she said so that everybody who just listens to the MP3 gets it. Fellini says, observe, notice, acknowledge the synchronicities. The more and more these occurrences will become clear to you, and you will gain confidence. Yep. And yes, spirits will continue. Okay, Donna said, like I said, coming back to my path and remembering. Thanks for the help to remember. Welcome.
Arlene, can I throw in one more thing?
Sure, toss it in.
Some people find this very useful. We actually are in charge of when and how we communicate with spirit. And something that some people find useful is if you visualize stop sign. And it can be red or it can be green. And red means you're closed. And green means I'm open to communication. There are a bunch of other ways you can do that. If you imagine a store, a shop, and in the window there's a sign that can say either open or closed. Mm-hmm. Just quickly picture that shop sign and imagine it flipped so that it says open. Or you can visualize a lamp plugged into an outlet that's controlled by a light switch. When you turn that light switch on, your light goes on. You turn the light switch off, your light goes off. And when you're wanting to communicate with spirit, that's one thing you can do initially is to have that experience of being open to the stoplight, the shop sign, or the light that's controlled by the light switch. And if you visualize it and you see that it's off, turn it on. The opposite is true. If you are out in the supermarket and you don't want spirit contact, or you're someplace driving a car, whatever, where you don't want spirit contact, just visualize those. So any one
Good
of
visuals,
those
yeah.
or two of those may be also useful in your toolkit for communicating with spirit as a two-way friendship.
Anybody else have anything to add to that?
No, but can I grab Jules? You're still here, Jules?
Yes, she is. Julia.
Julia, sorry. There's a wee lady. She is about 5'0", white grey curly hair, cardigan sort of lady, and unstoppable force, a bit like a summer tide coming in. Very gentle, but there's no stopping her. She's been nagging the hell out of me. She's with you just now. And it's either her or she's bringing somebody else in that you planted the forget-me-nots and cornflowers, I think. Little tiny flowers, little blue ones or something. And it's a case of they're just there to say thank you for the flowers. She's bringing another lady in, I think. They wanted to say thanks, but couldn't get through to you, so she's here. The unstoppable force. This unstoppable force, it's like she must be about the age of a grandmother, and she's with you a lot. She stands at your left-hand side, hand on your shoulder. You'll recognize when she's there because you can smell, is it Lily of the Valley or lilac, smelly stuff, I think. Something like that. Old-fashioned scent. And when she's with you, it's to kick you up the dirty air, to keep you moving, all of the above. And you need some of that right now. That's why she's in. And when you walk into a room, you'll smell her perfume or her scent. That's her. Also, at night time, when the manly persona that you project to the world, the strong, powerful, manly persona, falls off, and it's you not as strong. Put your hand out, she'll take your hand and help you get to sleep. Also, at night time, she's the one that's been stroking your hair. You've noticed, it feels like you're not going mad, she's done it. And I think that's all she's in for. She's sending you so much love and power and strength and all the rest of it. So just accept it for once. You're very welcome. And she's giving you big kisses. She's kissing you on the temple. That was her just now. That's me.
Oh, something happened. Michael disappeared.
Alright. Is Brian still here?
Yes,
Before he pops up again. I know his name's there, but is he still there? He's sleeping. He's old, you know. He falls asleep. See? Or he's daydreaming or something.
I'm still here, believe me.
Chappie, from the first time you fell out of the room, I've had a chappie from when you used to be in England. The name I went from was the Shadow Man. He is a scary gentleman, but you and him got on okay, I think. I can see you in front of an old-fashioned, I think it's a Jag with a long bonnet and the wire wheels. The bonnet lids up, so you're working on you're welcome, Jules. You're working on the car engine. That chappie was a very scary man, but there was some sort of bond between you and him. He passed with a puncture wound, so it's either a knife or a gunshot to the chest. And there's something about, I don't know what it is. I know you've told me a little bit, so I'm not going to say anything else. There's something about that time with him that you're carrying guilt for, or carrying I wish I had done, I wish I had said, I wish I'd... Nah. He's here to say it's time to let that one go. And like I was saying to Donna earlier, write it out. If you can't sit and tell him, or sit and let it go, write it out what you need to say. And just let it go, because you've been carrying it too long. That's part of this pain thing that you're getting at the moment is coming from the memory from him. Now's the time to let that one go. And it's also, there's other things that you're carrying from before, especially from your time in England, and the time before the new missus. Just let it go, Brian. You're a good man now. You're not the man you were then. You're not the person you were then. You're a wonderful healer. You're a fantastic friend. You're so much more than that other person, but you needed to be that other person to be the person you are now. And that guy, the shadow man, and other people are in, all to say, you've done that other bit, let it go. And I think that's me done with you. So just let it go. Thanks, Brian.
Brian, can you take that? Brian. Don't make me sing now, child. You there, Brian? And you stop mute. Don't touch that button. Okay, Brian. Brian. Kill him. He's doing it. Don't touch it. Brian.
He's going to sleep again.
No, he isn't.
No, he's not. It's only 11
When I turn the mic on, he turns it off. When I turn it off, he turns... Brian, how did that sound to you?
Thank you very much, yes. Anyway, as I say, Scott, thank you very, very much, mate. You've hit on some things there that I know I should have addressed at least.
He just muted himself.
No, it goes off automatically. That's what I'm saying. I'm having trouble with my computer. I'm losing sound.
I'm kidding.
I'm losing sound every 30 seconds. It goes off for 10 seconds. So.
You're doing the beating yourself up thing again. I should have done this 10, 20, 30. No, you shouldn't have. Tonight, today, tomorrow, this week's the time when you should have let that go. It's now the time. The wheel is turned. It's a new year coming. Now's the time. If you'd done it before, it wouldn't have been right. So accept the fact that now is the time, and you shouldn't have done it, or thought you should have done it earlier. That's BS. Anyway, that's enough. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you a hard time, but the chap is with me is rather forthright. Night, Jules.
Thank you very much anyway, mate. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Oh, Julia, wait. Julia.
It's gone.
And she's gone. Okay, Jules is gone. Well, you know what, Fellini? You can... Okay, Fellini wanted to speak to Jules.
Sorry, Fellini.
How about you? That's okay. Fellini, how about if you say it anyway, and then I can make sure that she gets to listen back, if you want. Your call. Okay, so then, let's turn on your mic. We're going to turn Brian off for a minute. Oh, he's already off. Okay, Fellini.
Oh, hi everybody. Oh, I'm so sorry she left. Yeah. I didn't know if she was a lady or a man anyways, but
she's a lady.
And only she can confirm. I was getting this big bosom, beautiful blonde woman, and to me she was like 53-ish. Jeez, that's my age. Anyways, and she referenced Doris Day and the song Que Sera Sera. And she just came in with a lot of love, and she was wearing this pink sweater, and this is why I saw her big bosom. You know, she's just a very lovable lady. And that was all I had for the moment for her, but only she can confirm this person. So anyways, sending love, that's for sure. And yeah, and it's tingly, like I'm absorbing this love. I love it. So pass it on. That's all.
Well, I will make sure that she gets the message, and if she wants to get back in touch with you, I'll connect the two of you together. So
Okay.
that, okay.
If she comes back. Okay.
Nice to hear from you, Fellini.
Same here. Thank
Okay.
you.
Well,
I would love to
all
read
right.
anyone.
So, Scott, Jody, anything for Fellini?
Fellini, can you take a little black cat with one white front right paw, just the toe tip's white, the rest of it's black?
I could take a black cat. The toe, I don't know. I don't know of that, but I can take a black cat.
And that cat was with a lady,
Yes.
an older lady, probably a grandmother or that sort of age, or an aunt, but from mother's side.
Yes.
Now, that lady's in with her cat. She seems to be quite a quiet lady, but with quite an incredible sense of humour, just making me laugh for no reason whatsoever. A very powerful lady, very strong lady. I think she was also, if she wasn't outwardly into all of this, she was a person who knew things and people went to consult and get advice from, and maybe even have a cup of tea and turn the cup of tea over and maybe have a look at tea leaves or something. Does that make any sense?
I didn't know that about her, but I wouldn't be surprised.
And it was a kitchen that always smelled of cakes and biscuits, and she was just that sort of earth mother type lady. The reason she's in is because you need to have some cakes and biscuits made for you, and to sit down with somebody that you trust. Alright, you need to sit with, you know who to go to, and you need to sit with them, have a cup of tea, and actually tell them it all, right? They won't judge you, they won't give you a hard time, but you have to give them it all. Because it's like lancing a boil. If you just do a little bit, it's still there. You've got to clean out the crap, pack it with healing herbs and whatever, and let it get better. If you don't sort it,
Nobody wants to hear it.
there's somebody.
If Scott's telling you there's somebody, you know that there's somebody.
And it doesn't even have to be somebody in your family or your friends, or you can visit in real life. It can be online. But there is somebody. And it's important for you to use your spidey powers and assess whether you can actually trust them. Your abilities and your powers are really quite awesome. You don't trust them and you don't use them enough. You don't trust yourself enough. But you're always proven right. If you think somebody's an arsehole, not a nice person, it generally turns out that they're not a nice person.
Yeah.
So start trusting that. And the person that you know you should be talking to, you won't have to go far to find her. Yeah. And when you are talking to her, she won't judge you, she won't give you a hard time. It's a case of you just need somebody to listen to download all that crap, clean out the wound and let it just, it's going to be tough. Yeah. But the wee granny lady with the cat, she's put the cat in your lap. You can probably feel it at the moment. And its toes are giving it all of this thing, and but it's settling down now beside you, and she's sitting on your right hand side. The granny, I think she's got knitting. Or crochet, one of those sorts of things. She's just sitting looking at you, nodding her head, and she's going to be with you through the whole process. Because there are going to be times you're sitting at night time or lying at night time, and it's going to be teary, it's going to be emotional, but you know you're gifted enough to know that for a healing crisis to happen, all sorts of stuff has to happen. Yeah. And by the new, if you're to do it this week or within the next 10 days, by the new year you'll be through the worst of it.
Really?
Right? Yeah. And it's going to be new. It's going to be a new year. It's going to be a turning of the wheel. There's a lot of turnings of wheels tonight. There's going to be a turn of the wheel. There's going to be a new moon. There's going to be all sorts of things happening. And part of why you're feeling as if you're stagnating, or you can't seem to just get the right access point to whatever it is you want to do is because this boil needs lancing, needs sorting, needs doing something with, or at least the process starting.
Yeah.
Alright? It's going to be fast, it's going to be furious, it's going to be really emotional, but you just keep telling yourself this too will pass, and you'll get there.
Yes.
Alright?
Yes.
So chin up, and sit there at night time with a cat in your lap.
Yeah.
And I think you should be getting back to your painting or your artwork as well.
Oh,
You've neglected it.
Yeah. I'm creative in different ways, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that would be beautiful to take the time to do it. Yeah.
Absolutely. And with Donna, I think Donna's more a writer. You're more of a painter. So both of you, write it out, paint it out. It all helps the healing process. And even if you have to destroy the canvas with fire or whoever else you choose and throw it to the four winds, hey ho, do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
You are. Don't stay You are.
Okay. Yeah, I want to believe it so much, but it's just been so freaking hard.
I know.
Selena, you know how we are. We're so good. We're so good at telling everybody else how to, what we get and what we,
yes.
what you should take care of yourself and the things we should do. But when it comes to ourselves, we always forget. Everybody in this room does it. Nobody's, not guilty of that. So, trust me, get it done. Or I'll tell Scott how to connect with you and I'll make him bug you.
No, it won't be me. It'll be a wee grandmother. She'll come in there, and it won't just be the cat needing its claws in her lap. It'll be the.
Yeah, be smacking you. Jody, did you have something for Fellini?
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it's for Fellini, but it's, as Darlene was just saying, it's really for all of us. And like as we reach greater ability in our connection and connecting to spirit, and as others increasingly look to us for that communication, sometimes we all get caught up in not wanting to appear weak or incapable. And self-healing is actually the opposite. Leanie, just think about the amazing, wonderful response that I got to not being able to do my work for 6 weeks, and how people stepped in and how people told me, sleep, eat. You told me, sleep, eat, relax. Basically, don't come back till you're recovered from your 6 weeks in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a sign of weakness. It was a sign of, I chose to take it that way. It was a sign of self-healing, and therefore it's a positive thing to do. So there's a lot of encouragement for you from spirit and from the people around you to do your work, inner work.
Cool. Fellini, did you see the comment in the chat room from Scott? He said no. Or somebody said, Nana said no. Okay. Sharon, I know you're listening. Would you like anything? I'm asking your permission first, but I'm really not asking your permission.
To who?
Sharon. I have to ask first. Because you'll sit there and you won't say nothing. Scott or Jody, if you have anything for Sharon, you can pop it up. And before we can, it looks like we're, going to be a closer show than hopefully I'm not in New York. at the end, before we high sign, I want one too. But let's go for Sharon first. Sharon, Scott or Jody, if you have anything for Sharon, give it to her. One, two, no.
Sharon, can you take a woman in her 40s or 50s, tall, very slender, looks like medium length brownish hair, in spirit? Familiar to you? Reserved, but definitely had strong opinions about things. People learned not to ask for her opinion unless they really wanted to hear it. And she's referencing how people often will ask a question that they don't really want the answer to. People learned not to do that with her. Yeah, she's saying she passed in her 40s. Okay, now.
She says she knows who you're speaking of.
Okay, that helps. Well, for whatever reason, she's presenting as being in late 40s, earlier 50s. And she's saying that there's a situation around you right now where people are asking, but they don't really want to hear your answers. Saying that that's sometimes confusing and difficult for you. And he's saying that it's sometimes hard for you to not respond to their questions, but to remember you don't have to answer the questions people ask you. And a good technique, she's saying, is that you can diffuse that by asking a question of your own. So if someone says, this is a silly example, but if someone says, yeah, well, they may say they want your opinion, but they sometimes don't. And she says, if someone says to you, for example, she's giving me this as a silly example, but she means it. Do you like my new hairstyle? And you think it looks awful. You can always say, how do you feel about it? Do you like it? In other words, you don't have to answer the question. You can ask one of your own. And you can ask a question that goes to a completely different subject. They are not in charge of what you respond with. He's also telling me that you know who those people are who ask, and they say, oh, yeah, of course I want your opinion. And if you give it, they're annoyed, they're upset, go quiet, they leave the room. Did you know who those people are? And those are the people that you don't have to. You're not a ventriloquist that they move your mouth and the words come out. You can be in charge of that. Okay? And there's something else. Saying you need to drink more water. You're not drinking enough water, and that hydration is really important. And there's something else. Is your knee bothering you? Right knee? I just had a really achy feeling in my right knee. It says when you sit or when you standing, you tense up those muscles. But relax those muscles, and that when you're sitting, You can put your leg up or put your foot up on something. Even if you just put pillows on the floor and rest your foot on that, that will ease those muscles and it'll help your knee feel better. Also, the same hip is also sometimes gets sore from the same reason. So putting your foot up on pillows will help that. There's something about a gold ring, like a wedding ring. But I'm not sure why she's showing me this. I'm asking. Says you understand about the gold ring, and I don't need to. And I just told her that that wasn't good enough. I wanted something more. You lose a piece of jewelry in the last 6-8 months that you can't find. You didn't wear it very often, but you really liked it, and you can't find it. Would that be correct?
Yes.
Okay. She's giving me that simply as a way to validate for you that she is with you, she's paying attention to your life, and that her wisdom, so-called, made a really sour face when I called it wisdom. She doesn't like to be, she wants to be listened to, she wants you to take her words seriously, but she had a little issue there with my saying her wisdom, which apparently is typical of. Anyway, she wants you to take it in and pay attention to it, especially about people asking you questions that you are not, that you're pretty sure they're not going to want to have. Stepping back now. Thanks for letting me share her with you.
I still want to ask questions, but I will ask after. Scott, do you have anything for Sharon? I've unmuted you. Stop playing with the buttons.
No, sorry. I've got a bit for Donna, though.
Okay.
I'm getting nagged. She's got a... You still there, Donna? You're weak. Donna. Hello. Beside your bed, on the bedside table, there's a book. I know there's lots of books. One in particular, it's A5 sized. It's paperback. It's only about that thin. Maybe that and that. I think the colour's a dark colour, blue or whatever, but there's seems like a picture on it. And it's a book that's got some dust on. And it's a book that you need to read again. I think you might have started it, put it down, or looked at the back of it. You need to get it out. You need to sit and read it again. It's going to be helpful in your upcoming events, and it will also there's a paragraph. I don't know where it is. I'd like to say in the first chapter, but I think it's probably the second or third. But anyway, there's a paragraph in there that's going to jump out at you, and when you recognise it, sit and write it down. Put it up as something to say in the morning or whatever. Put it in the mirror when you're brushing your teeth and read it. But it's important. But you need to read that book. That's it. Sorry. You're welcome.
Okay, now?
Tisket dusty books. Imagine having dusty books. For goodness sake.
I don't have dusty books, but
I've got more dust than books.
Oh.
I've got so many books I need to read, and they're in a pile, and the pile just gets bigger, and I get more books I need to read, and they go onto the pile, and then...
Another feeling. Yes, Dawn is the one who's making the stained glass.
I know.
My butterfly.
5 minutes at night time before she goes to sleep. It'll help her get to sleep.
Yes, it's true. Mind you, that's what does put me to sleep is reading. I don't know why.
Okay.
Gonna check up on you. Okay. I would like a reading if anybody has anything for me. God help me. That's just the two of you.
I don't at the moment, but I've just lost my ability to type.
Fingers don't work.
I don't know if that's Mercury retrograde or Spirit telling me to shut up.
Oh, I think Demisi's back.
Oh.
Well, physically she's there, but yeah, she can see the
Okay.
typing.
I do have a little something for you.
Just
I
see.
can't type.
That's okay.
Again, a side energy, and I'm being asked to confirm something that you are sensing, feeling yourself, and that is that you are doing much better, light years better, at pacing yourself and not taking on too much, recognizing when you need downtime, that in the past you have not been very good at that, and you paid for that. And you've learned some hard lessons around that. You've taken them in, you've taken them seriously. No, Sharon, I'm talking to Darlene. But as often happens, if the information is good for you, take it. Sometimes Spirit delivers a message directly to one person, but it's applicable to more than one. So, Darlene, is that making sense for you?
Yes, unfortunately. Yes.
No, it's quite good. They're saying that this guide energy is saying that you're doing a wonderful job. You really have gotten a handle on this. You're not perfect, but you're a person, a human. And so perfection is something that we don't often get to. There is a lot of pleased energy around you that you are not having to do what you've done in the past. You've learned a lot. You're putting it to good use. So
Yes,
it's
I
not,
have.
it's fortunately. Okay?
Thank you.
They're stepping back. That's what they want.
Okay, Feline, if you have something for me, you should have mic'd up. Oh, there she goes. Hey, Demetria, I'm glad your sound's back. It's right now. It's all about me, unless you see anybody else that you're drawn to. Scott's not shaking his head.
Darling.
Yes, dear.
Right, you've got some news that you're waiting for. You might have hinted to other people about it, but you kept it very, very quiet, which is very unlike you. You'll hear by the 18th. I know it's a big decision. I'm sure it's the 18th of December this year. But it's something you've managed to hide from all of us, so well done you. But you'll hear by the 18th.
Okay.
Alright, no worries.
Alright. Okay, Feline.
Okay. Am I too loud?
Nope.
Okay. So this is it. I have this gentleman stepping up, and he's referencing Vincent van Gogh. Okay, so either the name, but the personality also very introverted. Okay, firstly, lots of facial hair, cheveux hirsutes on the red side. Hirsute. You know what hirsute is, Darlene?
Rusted.
Hirsute is like not manageable hair. The hair goes any direction, and
Scott.
almost like an afro, but not.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very curly, but okay. So so lots of facial hair, so bearded, definitely looking like Vincent van Gogh. And he also shows me much pain, and this is he was a suffering man, because it really is in the heart, but not emotionally suffering. So this is also why he's referencing Van Gogh. Can you take a man like that?
Yes, I think I can.
Okay. Well, first thing he's showing me is he's really glad you're doing what you're doing. And you're learning, and you will learn, and you're learning lots, and that's how it starts, and that's probably, and that's what my feeling is that he was very inclined, and probably from the time of his period, and I'm trying to set a period for him, and I'm sort of getting the 1940s for him. Okay. That just popped into my mind. The 1940s was not something you would talk about, or he suffered from that. He knew his weirdities, that at that time would have been. So he's just coming in to bring support. And and much love to you, much love, and I wanna bathe in that. That's really beautiful love sent to you. So there you go. That's all I have for you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Anybody
else?
Can you hear me now? Yes, I can, BC. Welcome.
Oh, that's good. Okay, Jodie, I'll let you go first.
No, I was just telling Brian that I've lost my ability to type, and welcome back. That's all.
Oh, okay. Well, Darlene, I'm using a book called Darlene Virtue, Angel Numbers 101, and I opened it at 734. So you must have some connection to the number 7 and the number 3 and the number 4. 7 is the magical number. It's the collection of life energies I've just discovered. And so 7 is the full masters connections for you of energy, and 3 will be that you're working mainly from your solar plexus, and the colour yellow ought to be very significant to you, but you're also working from your heart chakra. But what's going to happen over the next year is the Ascended Masters are watching how you're developing, and they're asking you to concentrate on new adventures and new relationships. So I pulled some archangel cards, and the first one was comfort. So make sure that you always are working from your comfort, your heart and your solar plexus. It's to do with your physical life, not to do with your spiritual life. The spiritual energy will guide you and keep you where you need to be, but it's most important that you keep yourself balanced and in your comfort zone. So if you feel that you have to say no, do so. Even if you've always said yes, or even if your head says say yes, but your heart says say no, because that's your first intuition, and that's what will guide you. By saying no, you will discover the truth in yourself, first of all, and then in those around you. Because my feeling is that this year is the second year of the 9 numerologically, and so last year was the setting the goals, setting your wishes, building your heart's choice. This year is actually growing. So if you imagine a tree, last year you planted the seed. This year that little stem is just above the ground and just beginning to show its characteristics. And that's what you are. You're just beginning. And you're growing very strong because you put your feet into really good soil. You put your life onto a very good path. And I see that path being very steady. No big ups and downs. No big boulders in the way. Just steady and straight. At the moment you can't see your way forward because it's a brand new adventure that you were thinking about last year, and everything last year has started to come to an end. You've got about 4 things that you need to tie up, I'm being told, and then when you've tied those up, then the way is forward to go forward where you want to go. And if you work from your heart with your solar plexus and you work with Archangel Gabriel and your beautiful, wonderful guide, because as I see her standing here now, she has the look of a child. She has the intuition of a child. She has the playfulness. So if you haven't started to discover that you're laughing at things that you never used to laugh at before, you will start to do so. And as I'm drawing away from this now, I have a lovely lady that looks very much like you, and she's handing you a basket of roses, and she's asking you to please tend to your garden a little more. She would have enjoyed gardening when you knew her. I'm feeling that this is mother or grandmother, and that she would have enjoyed gardening, but at the end of her life she was unable to do very much for herself. So she's coming in to say, I love you very much, I care for you very much, but you have to do this, and I'm sorry I didn't teach you. Because she could do all this, she just hid it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Oh, thank you for working with me. Godspeed, and God
you.
help you. Okay, my darling. I knew I had to come in tonight, but I didn't know why. So, lovely meeting you, Scott. Good night, Jodie. Good night, everybody in the chat room. Brian, Helene, I love you all. Bye.
Night, Denise. Thank you. Okay.
See, before we finish, can I give Jodie a bit of a telling off?
Ooh.
On that shelf behind you, Jodie, there is a little fairy person. He is not a very happy person. In fact, he's rather a cross little person. He's sitting on the edge of that shelf, his little legs crossed over the other one, and his feet are tapping. You have not been doing the things that you know that you're fae folk. So, if you put your hand out and allow them to slap your hand, because you've been a very naughty girl and been ignoring them. And he's not a happy bunny. He's letting you know he's not a happy bunny.
That is...
Can you hear you? Sorry.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Because I can't type.
Sorry.
He is correct. And I have lots of reasons why that's true. They don't matter. The reality is he is correct. I offer my sincerest apologies, and that will change.
All right, but it's not me you need to be telling. It's not me you need to be telling. It's that wee chappie right behind you, sitting on the shelf beside that white. Is it a boat or an ornament? Something? He's looking less perturbed. So
They're used to a lot of connection with me, and over the last 2 months, that has not been the case. He is correct. I have not been connecting with the elemental world the way I usually.
Well, you were away on a little trip too, so.
And that's all okay. He wasn't really angry. He was just pretending to be angry because he knows the circumstances. He also knows that you'll do what you need to do. There is a pot of gold that he's sitting tapping. You're nearly there. He wants to give it to you. He's ready to give it to you. You're nearly there, and it's practically upon you. I think it's going to be around. We've passed midwinter. I think it's around the winter pagan fairy time. There's a special day that you'll know when to do whatever it is that you need to do to welcome in the new year, and welcome in the turning of the year, another turning bloody circle. There's a lot of them happening tonight, but he's there for you, and also the fairy folk with the wings, they're about you as well. So don't worry about not working with them, they're working with you.
January 1st is my birthday.
Okay.
So when we talk about cycles early in the year, lots of things begin for me on the 1st.
Watch this year, it's going to be very special. Right, there's somebody else coming back into your life as well. I don't know who it is, whether they're here or whether they're in spirit, but they're coming too. It's going to be special. But you have to put the groundwork in now to get the vibes up, the fairy vibes up, and get all the things that you need to do to get things sorted and tidied up and put away and put back. But it's to be ready, and once it's ready, it'll be spectacular. So do come back and let us know. My birthday's the 29th.
Happy birthday. Scott, I don't know if you know this, but Julie Sock and I, in the month of July, are going to be doing the Sensibilities tour in the UK, and the first and last weekends will be at the World Spiritualist Conference. We were at the initiating one 4 years ago, and we're coming back for those 2 weekends. And I'm throwing this out to you because, who knows? Maybe we will be able to connect in person. That would be really awesome. I appreciate your passing on my message.
You're welcome.
Well, does anybody have any other questions or any other comments or any other things to share? Please do. No? Okay. Well, this went just a wee bit over time, not as much as I had hoped, but I'm talking to myself. I am glad that you're here, Donna. To hear. I'm talking to myself. I might think about changing the time frame of the show, but I actually do like this time. So, I thank everybody for being here. For those of you who are still here, Brian, Donna, Fellini, Jody, Scott, and Sharon, me. Thanks for being here. For everybody who was here and had to leave because of internet issues or physical issues or just because they had to go, thank you for coming in. Next week is Foxy G, Gina B, and she has hopefully a very special guest coming with her. So, stop in next week as well. And Jody, you are so welcome to come back anytime. And this was a blast.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I have absolutely loved meeting all of you, and giant special hugs to you, Darlene.
Thank you. Night, everybody.
Night. Ta-ta.